Welcome back to Grogu Gaga. This is season 2, I guess. It's the discussion exclusively about the Bad Batch, and then whatever else we talk about because
we've established the precedent that there isn't a precedent for.
Yes, yeah. We ramble a bit. So we're gonna just talk about that and what we liked about it. We have seen the first 2 episodes at this point. We had to. We're in a new recording location right now, so we had to get all that set up. So hopefully everything else will be right on time. But so we're just gonna talk about what we liked about it. See what everybody else thought. What'd you guys think? Grayson, what'd you think?
That was great. I was very surprised. Not that I had, low expectations, but I didn't have any sort of expectations, let's say. But I was I thoroughly enjoyed it a lot. Enjoyed it.
We're off to a great start.
I enjoyed it.
Cam, you like it?
Yeah. 2 thumbs up for me. It's really cool.
I was telling Sean that no expectations. You can't have your you can't subvert your expectations.
Yeah,
having it going in.
You have
so
no expectations.
no, it was good. I really enjoyed it. It's very much Clone Wars, but kind of like the tone that I thought they would kind of take.
Yeah,
following the fall of the Republic. So it's good.
So the episode started with Caleb Dume and Depa Balaba, who we know we originally saw them and their interaction in the Kanan comic, which came out like 5 years ago, something like that.
I think it was the first new Kanan comic. I believe.
So probably 2015 then. Yeah, and so I didn't read it, so I thought it was great. I think there's a lot of people are upset because they changed the canon a little bit. Our canon lore master over here can tell us what was different.
Everything is it's superficial. A lot of people are mad about a couple things. Depa's lightsaber not being green, which I think is kind of ridiculous. Too many blue lightsabers, in my opinion.
Right?
Everybody gets a blue lightsaber.
What is with Disney and exclusively blue lightsabers?
I liked Ahsoka's original lightsaber color, then blue. Nope, you get blue.
2 blue.
You get blue.
Ray gets blue.
Yeah.
Ben gets blue.
And
Luke gets blue.
Even in the the sequels when they're supposed to be, it would make more sense to be greeny. But Depa has a green in the comic, and all of a sudden it might have been green also in episode 2 when the arena battle. I always associated her with green lightsaber, but at least it wasn't purple. Her master was Mace Windu, so I guess I think that would have been cool. But no, it's blue. People are upset that Commander Gray, it is Gray, but they brought him down to Captain Gray, which I think is kind of so out of nowhere, but that's fine. They didn't show his. People were upset because in the comic he was the one that saved Kanan.
Yeah, I don't know what the point was
of making that. Well, I guess the Bad Batch. The Bad Batch was nowhere in the comic because they weren't a thing yet. So there's little things, but otherwise, me and Sean were also talking before everybody else got here. It's Filonian, just like George, kind of does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
With the canon. The
canon. That's true too.
The Kanan, he does whatever he wants.
Kanan.
Wait,
and that's actually
saying Caleb was Kanan?
No. He was.
Couldn't be.
He's in the new Kanan.
He was canon.
He's not in the old Kanan.
He's Canon Jarrus.
He's Kanan. I think maybe that was a little thing that Dave did to put his name.
He was actually voiced by Freddie Prinze Jr.
It's like Dale Earnhardt Jr. The band.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a 35-year-old man playing an 11-year-old or something.
That was it was kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to be like 14 or 15, but still like
I don't know how old he was.
Very in between puberty.
If he hit puberty,
to be fair,
no, actually, if he didn't at the beginning, there's a moment in there where he hit puberty in the episode. He was like, we're gonna go.
Just gave it up.
To be fair, a lot of kids when their voice changed, they do talk a lot deeper.
They do.
Then I talk deeper when I was younger than I do now.
That's on purpose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
That's what I'm saying.
Totally.
So as a teenager, he's probably like trying to be all cool. Freddie Prinze Jr. But so she's got a green lightsaber here, so I guess
Right, that's episode 1.
Yeah, she definitely I think there is a scene in
episode 1. She doesn't have
obviously
she doesn't have a lightsaber out, but she's just one of those background Jedi like Sasetan just sitting there smiling.
Yeah, so I don't know. It didn't bother me, and I get why people would be upset because it's I guess it's more about like the implications going forward, but like I don't know, it didn't. I didn't read it too, so I wasn't as like.
Hey, at least Ezra did the opposite. He went blue to green.
That's true. Yeah.
So.
But what else? I mean,
that's all I could think of. The gray thing where it was actually Gray overcoming his Order 66 inhibitor chip to save to save Kanan or to save Caleb as he was trying to escape. He actually crashed the ship he was in that was chasing. It was him and another clone. I forgot. It was Captain something. I forgot his name already. But they were chasing, and all of a sudden he felt bad because him and Caleb had a relationship established. Buddy, and he overcame his inhibitor chip and crashed the ship, and that allowed Caleb to get away. So that I understand people being upset about that because that's a major point of one of the characters showing basically what the Bad Batch were, where their inhibitor chips were not fully established and working. So understand that, but it's the Bad Batch. So if they wanted to,
you got to find a way to put them in there.
And the fan service, and obviously the Bad Batch hadn't been even, conceived when the canon comic came out.
So. Also, they, it could also be the unreliable narrator, which they always talk about.
Always.
And, that's the excuse, like, canon's memory is a little bit different than what actually happened. That's my excuse. And, but yeah, I thought, I love the scene. I thought it was a great opening. I really liked the tone of everything. I liked the art, animation, the depth of field, like the background. It's got the blurry background, and like it really gives you
it gives a sense of epic.
Yeah,
cinematography was
so much better.
Yeah,
I mean, like
just the animation overall was so much more. It was so smooth,
and just the tone of it was just like more character oriented, and it was like it was darker, and I think if it keeps up like that, I'll probably like it better than the Clone Wars. Just if it's more consistent. The Clone Wars is great, but it's also got its duds and its high points. But like, I don't know.
It's short stories like the Clone Wars is.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I think this has a lot going in its favor that it's going to focus on the same characters now that they finally towards in season 7, you could tell that they really hit their peak of character writing and. They were just at their best, and now they're going to start a new show at that point. And I think moving forward, that's going to be, it's going to be really good.
Yeah,
it's going to be one continuous arc.
Yes,
with one thematic kind of instead of like there being, oh my god, it's a zombie episode,
and surprisingly,
which was cool. Which
I love. Yeah, landing a point rain on that arc's cool. It's like, oh, it's a zombie episode. Oh, it's a heist episode. Oh,
that's why in some ways I like Rebels better. In some ways, just because it's focused on the same people, and I think. That's kind of important to grow and to appreciate them and how they change throughout the series. I already like the characters better than in the Clone Wars episode. Before a week ago a week before the episode came out, I put the episode on and I just had it on the background. I couldn't even focus on it. It was okay, but after that I was like, oh man, I was a little nervous, but. I figured if they're going to make a whole series and spend all this money on it, they have some faith in it, and it's probably going to, set up something in the future as far as canon goes.
Mm-hmm.
Kanan.
I have to say, I'm very impressed by Dee's
your
performance.
Your guns right here.
Oh yeah, my guns definitely.
Flexing over
he's
there.
got a full pump. The fact he just came to the gym. He's got a full pump.
The fact that he was able to play 5 characters that are essentially the same character, but in such different ways, it's very impressive. Somehow he's managed to make each one feel unique and have their own character. Even Wrecker, who is growing on me, he likes fun kids, and
he likes fun.
I was trying to find a way to say that not weird. But
I like fun kids.
Wrecker likes fun kids. He made a couple jokes that were good. And he was my least favorite so far, but he's growing on me. I love Crosshair. I love what they're doing with that.
I like Crosshair.
I think it's a great choice. It makes for a very interesting villain that actually means something. And
of course, he always had something to interject. Anytime Hunter said something, it's like, all right, dude, we get it. You're the bad guy.
Yeah. It's like,
we got you.
Is he the baddie?
What? What a shock.
Crazy.
Yeah. At first I was kind of bummed about that.
Yeah.
But I'm with it now.
I
was because I liked him and his his specific abilities.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of makes sense. It works for me.
It's unfortunate that he's not going to be in the main protagonist cast,
right?
But he'll still
be
around.
He'll get just as much development. He's the main antagonist, so I think.
Interestingly, on my
maybe more
Galaxy of Heroes mobile game, over the past month have been adding each week the characters of the Bad Batch, and so they did Hunter and then Tech and then Wrecker and then Echo, and then they
Hunter
surprise like mysteriously didn't have the fifth one. I couldn't even remember who the other one was, but I was like, why didn't they have the fifth one? And then like he's still not in the game, so it makes sense that he's the villain of the show. Like why he wouldn't be part of that crew that they added to the game.
He's a Maggie.
And I wonder if he will have some sort of redemption and then find a new villain, which I think would be very cool because I do like Crosshair a lot. He's he's sassy.
I think he probably will have redemption and sacrifice himself. You know.
Oh, and I loved his little when they had their 80s food fight, you know, which was interesting, but I liked it.
I'm like shocked that Wrecker didn't go food fight.
Yeah.
It's like something he would do.
Like Crosshair was not involved at all, and then like somebody gets food on him, and then he's like, "All right," and he slings the tray at the other guy. I was like, "This is so just out there."
Let's say who our favorite is so far. Crosshair for you?
Yeah, I think it's Crosshair.
But about you, Kim?
It feels cheap, but I'm going to go with Hunter. I just like
he's solid. That's probably who I would go
Omega's
with as well.
dynamic.
He's a lot more interesting than he was in those episodes, I will say.
Yeah.
He's a lot better now.
You know, as you can see, you know, Rambo does go through a character arc. Like throughout his movies, you know, kind of. I like Echo just because he is not special in any way. He's the link to the old clones that we grew up, and he was in Domino Squad. He was one of the rookies. And I'd like to see where he goes. It's my prediction, and this is way far out, obviously, but he's going to be the one that survives and takes care of Omega somehow, with the rest somehow sacrificing themselves, and Echo somehow goes forward somehow. Because he's not special, and he will be the drawing line between the original clones and like whatever else is going on in the future, especially with Omega. So who knows? But I like Echo, and I think he's the most flawed. You could see, through his arc where they rescued him. He'd been tortured by the Confederacy. You can see that multiple times. Like his strong, PTSD kind of thing. He just has a lot of depth,
a lot of baggage,
a lot of depth. He's the most human so far to me. But they're humanizing literally all of them, I guess, except Crosshair.
He's literally like half human,
and he's literally like not even.
But he's still the most human.
He's more machine than clone. So, but no, I like Echo.
They did humanize Crosshair a little bit by showing that his decision was because of his inhibitor chip was like kind of functioning. So like that kind of makes it more.
It was interesting too that he was the one that said good soldiers.
Yes,
good soldiers follow orders.
Yeah,
he was
exactly.
the only one.
Yeah, and then Omega was like, saying like, I know it's not your fault, and like so she sensed it. So let's talk about
she what
she let's talk about her.
Wait, who's your favorite so far?
Hunter.
Okay.
But I like Crosshair. And Wrecker's grown on me. Tick is there.
Tech is exactly what you would expect
He's
from
the
that
most
sort of character.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which I thought he might have been the one that would have stayed, with the Empire just because of his programming.
Yeah, because he's a dork.
He's a big old nerd and like
he's a narc.
he's a narc. No, but yeah, I thought Tech would be the one, but I can see it with Crosshair too.
Yeah,
even in the Bad Batch kind of series, he was the most straight laced. So
yeah.
So Omega is actually my favorite.
I was going to say, I think I want to change my answer.
Yeah,
love her already.
Yeah, because technically she is one of them because she's one of the 5.
Yeah,
and as soon as they said that, because they said there was 5, and then like. We know Echo wasn't one, so I was like, okay, obviously.
I didn't even pick up on that until it happened. Yeah. I was like, oh, duh.
Yeah. So I try not to have too many wild theories anymore, just so I'm not disappointed. But
theories are fun though.
Yeah, I like theories. I just try to like not get my expectations too high. So
Echo's gonna be the first to die. Let's be honest.
Who?
Now that I've said Echo's gonna be the one who survives, he's gonna be the first one.
Yeah, probably. Out, so. Honestly, I feel like he would be. Honestly, because right now he's still like kind of there, like
floating.
Yeah,
Wrecker outlives them all. He's just
honestly, if Wrecker,
I'll take you fun kid.
If Wrecker dies, I actually will be kind of sad. Like he's like a big teddy bear.
Yeah, he is a big teddy bear.
Which I didn't like him at first, but so
those are the ones that get taken out first.
Exactly. So that's why I'm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like Halo Reach.
He'll probably die in this season.
It's the first Game of Thrones.
There's a Halo character named George.
But it's spelled Jorge, but they call him George. I don't know what.
Okay.
Hey. But yeah, his name is George. He's one of the noble team.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, if you like Halo.
Anyway, Omega.
So, Omega, I love. She's just charming and fun, and I think if it's hard to not like her unless you're looking to dislike her, which of course in the fandom menace, there's a lot of people who are like already upset and like whatever, man. You didn't like Ahsoka, and now she's your favorite. Mm-hmm. You know how it goes.
If you don't like fun kids,
if you don't like fun kids, like Grayson,
is not for you.
Grayson loves.
If you're not a fan of fun kids,
I didn't.
He loves the kids.
He loves fun kids.
No, but she is great. Like I think
there.
It's very interesting and surprising that until this point they haven't done a female clone trooper. And with the accelerated growth rate, we could see her mature very quickly, and you can tell she already has some combat prowess. Does
she have accelerated growth rate? Do we know that yet?
We don't know that, I guess, but I would like to think
we
so.
We literally know nothing about
it. Because I want to see her in action because she's already super cool.
She might be the same age as Boba. Similar
That'd be
age.
interesting.
She reminds me of from Power Rangers Turbo, the young,
of course,
the little
I know who you're talking
blue
about.
Power Ranger. Yeah, who's like a little boy,
up really fast.
Yeah,
or like he was a little kid.
Or he was
when
the
a Power Ranger. He became a full one.
Right.
That was weird.
I got those sort of vibes.
That's.
You remember that? Did you ever see that?
No, I didn't. I wasn't a Power Rangers
Turbo?
person. Yeah, no.
Power Rangers Turbo.
Yeah.
That's Grayson's era.
I was more Digimon.
Digimon.
Those are
not
very
related.
different things.
They were like on the same right? Weren't they both
same station?
They both had colors. They were for kids.
I like Jackie Chan Adventures.
They were on
more my thing.
Kids WB.
Mucha Lucha.
Anyway, yeah. So Turbo. Let's talk about that. Turbo Rangers.
I'm surprised there's not
Power Rangers
a
theories.
bad character named Turbo.
So
nobody won. He's the mechanic.
I wanted to say that if she is the same age as Boba, it's possible that she's, the other child, quote unquote, of Jango.
That would be very, very neat. A lot of predictions that Boba will tie in somewhere.
I'm sure he
down
will.
The line.
And she looks like Boba actually. She just has blonde hair, and so she's definitely got some Jango in her. And
nope.
I mean,
a fun kid.
Yeah, I didn't not what I was going with that, but I think yeah. So y'all have any theories? Since we're just having fun here.
That only
one guys being dudes.
We're just being fun kids in a room together.
Fun.
We're having fun. Just like the whole fun. But no, I've seen the only theory that I've seen around her is that Palpatine may have something to do with her directly.
Well, I kind of hope that's the case, just to
me too.
Tie into the sequels and make it better.
Yeah.
But
he was mucking around with some force sensitive clones, like he continued to apparently, from what I can tell. Obviously there's nothing clear obviously about what Snoke is, but force sensitive clones, I think this might be the first.
Yeah, we'll come back to that because I did want to talk about that comic too. But so we're back to like speculating that she might be Rey's mother, but I'm not going there.
She is definitely Rey's mother.
I don't want to go there. She doesn't look like her.
Omega Skywalker.
Yeah, so I mean,
that's not your name, kid.
I don't know. I just don't. I'm afraid to. But I think she's got to have something with Palpatine, and I mean, it just makes sense. Like given that the whole canon moving forward is about about making it cohesive, and then of course they changed the canon on the comic.
Get a Filoni bomb.
Yeah, but I think it'll be cool, and they're already doing that with the Vader comic. But we'll talk about that in a little bit because that's kind of off topic. But I did want to mention that.
Otherwise, I think Omega's also going to be like another humanizing. For the clones, there's going to be another way to humanize the clones as we move towards the clones getting less and less personality, moving towards the Empire and the Stormtroopers. Obviously, I think we're going to see clones in Stormtrooper armor by the end of the season. I would say.
You think?
I think so. We're not going to see TIE fighters or anything because they were still using V-wings up till Fallen Order, which is 5 years after. So we know that the V-wings are still in use. There's no TIE fighters. I know at the time, of course, Filoni, he might just say it's not quite.
That whole transition period reminded me of a scene that I'm sure y'all are we're going to talk about anyway, but where they explained the cessation of the clone production, which, as far as I know, is the first time they've actually like straightforward said this is why we don't have clones after this, and it's a pretty straightforward reason, just like it costs too much and we don't have to, and he's like, I can train better soldiers, which is like, okay, that makes sense.
Sounds like Palpatine is like an evil billionaire who doesn't want to spend any more money.
It being the Empire, it's like, why wouldn't they just make him do like slave labor? But it's still I like that they have some sort of explanation. They're like, it's not worth it.
Yeah, honestly,
we can make better soldiers because Tarkin's like a great commander or whatever. He's a great Moff.
He's a great money man.
He's a grand old Moff.
He's the grand old
Tarkin.
I thought they just like died out since their growth acceleration, but
eventually I think. But they would.
But like, why wouldn't they? Keep producing them? I always thought about that. I was like, why? These are like the best soldiers you could have, and like.
Yeah, but 2 million on the way, 2 million clones in a galaxy of quadrillions and quadrillions of people. It's not.
Yeah,
you can use them to fight on battlefields
cost efficient.
It's better to brainwash your citizens than it is like the clones.
Also, you got these stormtroopers, which we have seen in some canon that the stormtroopers are doing it just as a job. They don't have like this full devotion like the clones had. They are human or
right.
Yeah, mostly human, actually, almost completely human. They have these I'm just doing this for a job.
They live on a farm now and they have 2 kids.
These days, like, I actually feel sad for the stormtroopers when they get shot. I'm like, that could have just been a dude who was just trying to provide for his family.
Although
like those robot chicken sketches.
Yeah, exactly.
In the movies, though, we see the stormtroopers of Vader's stormtroopers, which were more the ones that I'm thinking are more like the ones that were just on like I think Sullust is one. It was
trash duty like Finn.
Exactly. He was just like dumping stuff into lava. He's like, okay, disposing. Good, there we go. Oh wait, now there's rebels shooting me. Dead. And I was like, oh yeah, it was just I think it was a female too. And I was like, that's just a lady, just a trash lady. You just killed a trash lady, like basically. like what if you just there's like some kind of like armed rebellion and your trash lady got shot? How would you feel?
Trash compactor.
Trash compactor.
Is there a trash compactor? Oh yeah.
So I think, and then we know the next thing after they have their little training thing is that Tarkin wants to take him out. And
when Tarkin was Farquaad, and he was making him fight like Shrek and Donkey.
That is what that reminded me of.
Some of you may die.
I didn't even like think of that. I knew it reminded me of something.
That's a risk I am willing to take.
that's probably that's probably what I was thinking subconsciously, but. And then
his name is Farquaad, and let's be honest, Tarkin's kind of a Farquaad.
He is a Farquaad. And then they meet up with Saw Gerrera. I knew something was up when they were going to the planet. I knew they weren't going to be like.
I'm so sick of seeing Saw Gerrera.
Really?
I just don't care for him as a character. Like, I just don't care for him. I find him annoying and obnoxious and not interesting. I'm like, oh, he's a rebel leader, but he's also like kind of an anti-hero. I get it. I don't need to see him every 5 seconds. He's in Fallen Order. He's in everything.
Is he in Fallen Order?
BS, and
he's just everywhere.
Every time he comes up.
Well, I like it when he's Forrest Whitaker.
He's
like Forrest. He did a good job in Rogue One. Forrest Gump.
We're fighting some stormtroopers.
I didn't find that character to be that interesting.
Oh, man.
That I need to see him like everywhere.
No, but he's only been he was in 2 episodes of Rebels and a couple in Clone Wars.
The Battlefront 2 tie-in novel. They're fighting the partisans. The Inferno Squad's fighting partisans. It's another.
I'm just sick of seeing him. Maybe that's my unpopular Star Wars opinion of the week. But I don't care for Saw Gerrera. And when he popped up, I was like, oh okay, here we go again.
He still gives the only other thing that we see into the movies where the rebels aren't just like we're plucky rebels. And we're blown up.
I feel like they should do more of that and just stop relying on him so much.
Oh, maybe there'd be different kinds of rebels besides just we're
either we're all
we're Al Qaeda.
We're
Al Qaeda assaulting imperialist troops. Oh,
but he's
thanks for going. That was very deep. Thank you.
But he's well known for being like in Rogue One they talk about how he's Saw Gerrera is he's the rebel who is known for not doing things the right way. So I think it makes sense.
He's the only one getting stuff done too at the same time.
So it makes sense that he's like the leader, and it makes sense that he would tie into it. But I get it,
But I know I liked his, particularly the Bad Batch. I like how you can barely see the beginnings of the Forrest Whitaker type Saw Gerrera that we get. He's definitely still the Clone Wars model, but man, he is dark. But then
his
you
eyes
see
get
his
less
human,
green.
His eyes get a little less green. Somehow it's the darkness that he sees within him and changes his eye color, which we've seen in Star Wars. So there's a precedent for that. But you can see his humanity. The poorly veiled, allusion to Steela, his sister, who died in the Clone Wars in that arc, and how sad he is, and he's fighting, and that's literally that's what kind of made him deranged, turned him deranged, was his what he lost during the Clone Wars, and feeling betrayed by the Republic, and then the Empire said that's.
I think he's a very interesting character for sure. He's complex, and I appreciate that.
But I find
him sort of annoying.
I get your.
I'm just saying,
he's everywhere. It's like, it's Saw. Oh wow. His last name literally means war.
He's probably one of the best written like non-movie characters.
He's also,
to be fair,
been in the most.
He's a great character. He's one of the best written. I just don't like him.
I'm just tired of seeing him. Like,
I kind of feel you, Grayson. I'm just not super interested in him.
I'm so tired of hearing this voice.
And the voice. I can't stand the voice.
It's like, Bodhi, what? Look, to this day, devil days.
Did they send you?
But he's like, they sent you to kill me? To kill me? No, but I also like his parallel to Darth Vader too.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's only in Rogue One though. I mean,
there's so many parallels to Vader.
That's true.
Echo, Grievous. Oh, don't get me started on Grievous. I love General Grievous. That's a whole other thing. I'm not going to put us on.
You love General Grievous?
I love Well, I'm about to go down a rabbit hole if you get me started.
He's a fun kid.
No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, don't.
But you saw him in the opening scene, which we saw. That was some clips of Revenge of the Sith. I know
he looks so good.
It took the Clone Wars to make him look intimidating.
Oh, Grievous, yeah,
because it was like 3 shots that were animated episodes of the Revenge of the Sith.
And I love that they did
Tim Curry Palpatine,
the same button press, the donk donk.
That was definitely.
Yeah, and I think it's cool that they did that. A lot of people want a full animated thing. I don't want that, but if they were to do that, I think they should do a like alternate cut. That implements other aspects,
things
of
that you
what's
couldn't
going
show
on.
Also in the movie.
Maybe
but
some more Ahsoka connections, and then and then just other stuff going on. I would be cool with that. I don't want a shot for shot remake because
what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people love the Clone Wars, and it's cool. I mean, but don't spend your money on that.
Oh shit! I think we've seen enough just in the last episodes of Clone Wars. We saw in that scene with Mace, right there where they're all talking, right, and that's all I needed, to be honest. And the little clips of like, oh, Count Dooku, Anakin killed Count Dooku. I'm like, oh, cool.
And then they got the Hayden's Anakin, and then briefly the Matt Lanter one. What have I done?
What have I done? Yeah,
I lost my surfboard.
My wax
totally wiped out.
So yeah, I guess is there anything from the first episode we need to talk about?
That's really it. Tarkin, we can talk about Tarkin all day, but I think we've hit the nail on the head.
Well, I love that Tarkin is like.
I love seeing him as an administrator.
Yeah,
which we don't see in the movies ever because he's just warlord.
I like that he was in one movie for how long? 40 something.
Rogue One.
No, just
his total screen time. His total screen time was like 7 minutes.
Yeah, like 7 minutes of screen time, and now he's in Rogue One,
and
Rebels,
he's my favorite
Clone
villain,
Wars,
probably,
Bad Batch.
Boba Fett's not really a villain, so he's probably my favorite villain.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I love
him and Krennic, and that's yeah, they've gotten a lot of extra stuff, and Tarkin especially. Tarkin's book was awesome, perfect, and it really puts his personality and who he is in the view. And 7 minutes of screen time. I think it's cool that they elaborate.
Yeah, and bringing him out more.
When they brought him out in Clone Wars for that first time for the Citadel arc, I was like, oh, cool.
Besides Krennic, he's like the only other Imperial figurehead in the movies besides what's his name in Episode 6. It starts with a
Moff
P.
Jerjerrod.
It starts with a P. What's his name?
Admiral Piet.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like that's the only other one, So Tarkin.
I thought you were talking about the one in Moff in Return of the Jedi.
What is a Moff?
Jerjerrod, right?
Yeah, Jerjerrod. It's Moff Jerjerrod and
Grand Mofo Tarkin.
Grand Mofo. That's all right. But no, we don't. Well, I mean, shoot, we see Yularen for like 1 second in the Death Star scene, and
in Rebels,
and who's the guy that he chokes?
That dude. I don't even know his name.
There's Jerjerrod, and then there's his. What was my guy on the top?
Your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader.
Your sorcerer's ways. The only one that's not British for some reason.
And he's the only one that says Sith in the original movies, but it was cut out.
Oh yeah.
He said it.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I knew it was cut out. I didn't know where it came in, but yeah, that's weird that Sith was that was a thing since then. And
I love the choice of setting for Bad Batch. Directly after Order 66. And I know that's been explored a lot in the books and everything, but not in the show
in the visual
until
medium.
Season 7.
This Sith Lord sent by the Emperor will be our undoing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is nuts. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I knew it was in there. I didn't know it was old goofball.
I didn't know it was actually filmed until I saw that clip. But I thought it was in the books. I know.
I know that guy more for not even a word, but when the other dude's getting choked, he's like,
yeah,
he does like,
just
you should have put that noise could have been in there like it was a cartoon.
Audible.
But no. Setting, you're right.
It's just a great choice. I love seeing this transitional period between the clone troopers to the Empire. It's something that just it holds so much more emotional weight. Like there's so much.
Well, especially if you obviously, I don't think you're going to watch Bad Batch if you haven't watched the Clone Wars necessarily.
Definitely.
So you see these clones that you all know have personalities, distinct personalities. You might not have met those particular clones before, like the ones, the food fight ones, those. Like, but food fight. But they had like personalities beforehand, and now to see them all just be like taking their colors taken away from them, everything. They're just they look all like shinies. They're just black and white now. Yeah. And that's just like a visual way of showing. And you're right.
This ain't your daddy's clones.
This ain't your daddy's clones. All right.
Well, actually, I have a few friends that actually have just watched The Bad Batch. And because they asked me if I needed it. And I was like, yeah, it helps, but not really. Yeah, like you can watch it and understand what's going on.
It's not crucial.
Not really.
No, but
it does help. I think it makes it better.
Well, anything with Star Wars, if you get the backstory, it makes it better.
More context, the better. You know the backstory when they were fun clones.
Yeah, exactly.
When they were fun clones. Yeah. Now they're just a bunch of fun kids.
So episode 2, they meet up with Cut LaQueen.
Cut and run.
Cut and run. Which I went back and watched the original Clone Wars episode after that.
It was one of the best episodes, and it was only season 2. Which
season 2, I know
gotten great.
That's why I didn't remember much of it, because those first 2 seasons I don't rewatch much. Have y'all seen that episode?
I'm sure I've seen it when it came out, but I don't remember it. I remember the character. It was
called Deserter, wasn't it?
Like, the Deserter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he was in there, and he's got his Twi'lek kids who now are like evolving into
more human, with huge eyebrows.
Yeah,
apparently they belong to the Gallagher brothers, from Waitress. And they're not even his kids.
Right, and that's
but they're also half human still. Which you would think.
I think the implication was that, like, for people watching to get for people who don't know the story to be like to think that that's his dad, but if you watch the show,
it's never stated either way in either show that it's not his kids or it is his kids. It's just the timeline doesn't work.
Not at all.
At all. Like, because it's like maybe like a few weeks after the Battle of Geonosis where he defects, and
exactly.
It's only a short time after that, and these kids are already like 6 and 7, So
maybe they have accelerated growth as well.
Maybe they do.
They were voiced by
that gets passed down. If you're a clone, you pass down the accelerated growth.
Oh, yeah, one was
half of that too.
One was voiced by Phil and Lil from Rugrats.
Was it really? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Very iconic voice.
Oh yeah. Like very like, oh yeah.
Lillian. Phillian.
I remember her. She was a character on Avatar: The Last Airbender. Have you all seen that?
Yeah, I've seen. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's
have I seen Avatar?
It's like the ragtag group of like freedom fighters. That's what they're called.
Jet?
And the character Smellerby. I think that was her name.
Jet was the main.
Jet was the main guy.
Yeah.
And
Smellerby sounds like a Pokemon.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
so
I remember those episodes. Lake Lao guy. Yeah. And there's no one.
But she voiced that character. That's
interesting.
What came to mind for me.
Okay. Well, no.
I liked the episodes. People call it a filler, and I mean, it wasn't really. I mean,
I thought that at first, but I don't think it was, because it was necessary in that it solidified Omega's presence.
Yeah, exactly.
As a character in the main cast,
and
a reason why she's there.
I like the vibe of it and the tone. It was slower pace, and just like you get to see more of the world or the galaxy as through her eyes, and just a different feel than Clone Wars, which I really appreciate.
Mm-hmm. And it's no pun intended, it's a catalyst for Cut LaQueen is like a catalyst for other characters. I've noticed more.
That's true.
Like in the original, that's what the depth of him coming back. It's obviously him showing Hunter what it means to be a family, and that he's going to be kind of like head honcho. He's going to be like the father figure of not only Omega but the rest of the Bad Batch going forward. It's not just going to be like a commander anymore. It's going to be way more. They're going to have to be way tighter, like a family unit. And for Rex and the Deserter back in season 2 of Clone Wars, it was showing Rex that there was more to being human than just being a clone necessarily. Like his kind of father figure showed Rex. That was the beginning seeds of Rex becoming one more human. Clones.
Exactly.
Yeah, like you could bleach your hair and still be a clone trooper.
That's true.
You can totally look like like Smash Mouth.
Skin.
Yeah. Or skin. Yeah.
Also, that episode was like it was good, but it was like a carbon copy almost of the Mandalorian episode, or a carbonite copy, if you will.
I like that. Yeah.
He's like, I gotta leave the kid here. Nah, I'll take the kid.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
It was also very similar to
the kid
to The Force Awakens when Rey saw the green for the first time.
Oh yeah,
it was. Yeah, that's what I thought about.
And Han looked very sad, but I was like, "Oh, I'm colorblind." So
yeah,
what's that like?
I didn't know there was this much green in the whole galaxy.
It's like me either.
So that's why Omega is.
I see grass every day.
Yes.
So I like the episode. Cam, did you like the episode, or was it okay? Or?
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't as good as the first episode. I think we can all agree about that. But
it also wasn't 70 minutes.
I wouldn't call it a filler because I think it did just kind of build up the family relationship.
I'm glad that it was. It came out 3 days after the first one. That made it a little better. I think
I was carrying off some of the energy from that I had going off from the first 70
I think if I'd waited a week, I would
movie length episode. Also showed how obviously how much Palpatine had been preparing to transform the galaxy, because man, they had like those things done in like 2 weeks. Like, chain codes, here you go. And all the Arabesh had like, Imperial Information Center here. Like everything was like already boom, Empire. We're Empire now, by the way. Over a whole galaxy. Man, Palpatine was.
I think it was really cool to see the clones as bad guys.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you see it in Revenge of the Sith briefly, but not
really. Not really. All I see is Yoda stabbing a bunch.
Yeah, you see it there, and you see it in season 7 of Clone Wars.
Yeah,
in the last few episodes,
very
briefly.
Pull Jesse.
Yeah, so I think that was kind of a cool subversion.
Oh gosh,
but not really a subversion. It was just.
Don't say that.
It was just cool to see.
I've always wanted more like immediately after Order 66 content, so I'm just here for it.
Yeah. So yeah, I liked it. What do you guys think will happen next week? I know Rex might show up because they've referenced him. I hope he does. I mean, he's going to show up in the show. He was in the trailer, but
yeah, the more Rex, the better. I mean, at this point, I'm surprised he's not still with Ahsoka. It's kind of crazy.
Is he not though?
I don't know.
I don't know how
that's what I'm saying. But if they seems quick little Ahsoka reference, boom.
Ahsoka's going to be in the show. Dave Filoni. This is a Dave Filoni show. She'll be in there.
I forgot. Yeah, Dave Filoni can't.
There's no way she won't be.
That's
in
the
there.
only reason that Kanan was in it. It's because it's one of his baby characters.
Yeah, but I'm okay with that.
I think it's funny that Freddie Prinze has come out and had to beg Dave to kill Kanan.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like it was hard to convince Dave Filoni to kill Kanan off.
Really?
Yeah, because he can't get rid of his baby characters. He had to bring time travel into the universe, into the Kanan to save Ahsoka. So
well,
that's a little
I didn't know that.
hokey religion there.
I didn't know that, so that's interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of unusual for he was talking himself out of a job there. He's like, the actor to be like, you should probably kill me.
You could say that
unless you're Harrison Ford.
And then he was, the biggest voice in episode 9. He was he was the loudest Jedi voice that Ray heard. So kind of getting talked out of a job. But
that's true.
But I think Dave Filoni was like, we gotta have both my characters.
The Jedi lies her strength.
I think that shows just how much respect and appreciation that Freddie Prinze has for his own character.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Freddie Prinze
is like, hey, you got to kill this character. It's for the best.
One of my favorite in the entire Star Wars cast is Freddie Prinze for his knowledge. It's kind of like Sam Witwer.
Exactly. Yeah.
He knows what he's talking about.
He's a handsome man.
I love all the actors who like really get on board and immerse themselves in the lore.
I still think, man, it takes me back when I see Sam Witwer's face on any of the characters. When I see Starkiller, I'm like, ooh.
That's Starkiller.
Then I watch The Mist, I'm like, ooh. And then I'm playing Days Gone, I'm like, oh.
He's got a mullet.
He's got a mullet, and he's riding a motorcycle.
He's got a motorcycle.
That's cool, though.
So who do you guys think will show up throughout this season or series as far as like established characters? I think we'll see Vader at the end of it.
We'll see Saw at least 3
times. Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to see Saw.
We're going to see him 3 times. It's going to be the Forrest Whitaker later in the season. It's a really quick transition. It's a really quick transition.
And then we're going to, I'm surprised we haven't gotten a spinoff Saw show at this point. Like of all the spinoffs, like they're doing a casting show, but they're not doing a Saw show.
He'll be in it.
Probably. He will be in a Saw show, I think. Yeah, Saw Gerrera will be in a Saw show.
No, I meant he'll be in Andor.
That'll be really cool. Will they recast him?
Because they need to stop.
It's only like 5 years before Rogue One.
Oh, it is. Okay, cool. Then we could have.
Or it could be wrong, but I think it's 5 or 6 years before. So yeah, they get Forrest and just bald him again. That'd be bald era.
Hey, maybe he'd be on Camino. Not Camino. I mean Kashyyyk, but that would be way after.
Somebody on Reddit was like, I can't wait to see Camino in live action. I'm like, we already saw it in episode 2.
I mean, quote unquote live action.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it was
like an actual set.
It was very like, cartoony. But so I know what they mean.
Getting,
and that's somebody else mentioned something about seeing something that had already been in the films. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that was already in there. But because you don't and like it was like an episode 2 thing where it's like so cartoony that you don't actually think about it.
Oh my gosh, those are the worst. That's the worst CGI in
absolutely.
Even like the 1996 special editions have better CGI than episode 2. I don't know how
close. Like, 2004 one's definitely
the X-wings. The X-wings over Yavin.
Geonosis wasn't super CGI though. They actually used
they had the
sets and real sets, practical effects.
But even the
what are those
monsters? I thought were
speaking of monsters. You got the next in episode 2.
Yeah. That was cool.
Which is kind of cool. Yeah, the cat wolf.
The cat wolf that attacks Padme.
I forgot about that. That's a good creature. I think
that's one of my favorite. Also in Star Wars Bounty Hunter with Jango Fett, you have to fight a bunch of those, and they're scary, man, because they're so fast.
Yeah.
And we also saw the other one in Mandalorian, whatever that's called. What's it called?
The bug or
Oh yeah. Wait, was that the same?
Is it not the same?
I don't think it was. Maybe it was.
There was a mudhorn, which was different than it was not a mudhorn. Obviously in episode 2.
In episode 2.
Did we see? What is it called? The one that Jango shoots?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe not.
That's that is the one from episode 2. Let me see.
What's the other one? What's the
Acklay? I love the Acklay.
I remember fighting those in the OG Battlefront 2.
Yeah, they're on Felicia.
Sulu Kamai though, maybe was that what they were talking about?
I don't remember. This was me. And this was me trying to I was like, I can't wait to see this in live action, and then remember that it was already in episode 2. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was episode 2. But no, I really want to see Kamino in live action. I really was kind of hoping the end of Mandalorian season 2 was going to be on Kamino with all the clone referencing.
And you had literally a Kamino scientist as
exactly.
The finale.
I mean, we'll probably see it next season.
I'm sure we will somewhere down the line.
It's such a I don't know. It's so
people love clones.
It's just
man.
Yeah, and it's a cool planet, and I like the style of the whatever buildings, whatever you want to call it. I guess that's where they live.
It is not the same creature, according to Wikipedia.
What is it?
Well, the Mudhorn first appeared in Chapter 2 of Jon Favreau's 2019 Disney Plus.
That's when it first appeared?
That's what it says. I mean, it looks similar to the one in Episode 2. But
maybe I just thought it was the same one.
They look very similar.
They do look very similar.
They're basically the same thing.
Yeah.
What's it called? Might as well look up the character while you're on Wikipedia. It's like a tusk or... I was going to say Trask.
It's not a Tusken.
Yeah. It's not a Tusken.
We had that wrong on trivia because I answered Tusken instead of Tusken Raider. Which I said, well, if you want to get technical, Lars, Klieg Lars in episode 2 called them Tuskens.
Called them Tuskens.
So they should have given me a point just for acknowledging that.
Yeah, Raider seems a little like derogatory.
And Nexu.
Yeah.
Nexu is the
other one.
cat. Reek. I said Tusk,
reeks.
but yeah, that reeks.
That reeks, man.
Yeah, but I like the inclusion of all these, the pretty cool animals too. That's cool. Keep bringing that in, and or maybe some new ones. They do rely on some of the old
Bring
stuff.
in some sequels ones. I mean, because the sequels didn't bring any.
Can you name a single alien species from the sequels?
Abednado.
Abednado, yeah. Abednado, yeah.
And
Babu Frick.
Babu Frick. Hey, bring in Babu Frick.
Is that the name of the species?
They're all Babu
They're
Frick.
all Babus.
Yeah. Babu Frick is a clone. A spliced clone.
That was my favorite part of that movie.
Hey. Yeah.
Yep. The thing he says.
Oh, do it done.
I'm trying to think about
it.
Joy go black.
He's a sombrero. That's the only thing. He's just literally a stereotype. Hey,
what
Star
else
Wars.
is new with
Hey,
Star Wars alien characters?
Oh, they're talking a bit.
I'm looking up sequel trilogy aliens.
Yeah, Abedado. That's the one because Abedado is
Porgs.
Porg. Yeah.
Crowloot. That's what Unkar Plutt is.
What's the one that I guess it just unceremoniously his head chopped off for no reason apparently? That also played by Mark Hamill.
Little thing. Oh yeah, that dude.
Just win the war.
Win the war.
He's just being the Joker.
It's so funny that they gave Mark Hamill cameos in these movies because he had such a small role. And at least in 7 and 9,
$500,000 for episode 7.
He's like, he's on the set already. Just put him in a costume.
Yeah, and
just make him say blah, blah.
Hey, we're paying him to be here.
In the table read, he was like the narrator, which is sad.
Wow.
That picture. Poor Mark.
So poor Mark getting paid $500,000 just to sit there and go. I'm doing the
was it only $500,000? He had to get millions.
for episode 7. Episode 7 only.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Where he just stands and doesn't say a word.
Harrison Ford got like 10 million. So, I mean, I know that.
He said words.
I know, but this is still, it's about the name.
10 million was just for episode 9.
Fathier, that's one.
Yeah, but yeah.
I'm not saying whether you like him or. Okay, this is what Babu Frick is, an Anzellan. That's what he's called. Yeah, you're right. I can't really know any of the names, but Porgs is the number one on this list.
Abinado, that one, that's true. Because they get brought in, and they're also not just from the sequels now. Order. They're in Fallen Order. They're in Squadrons. There's an Abinado in this is original.
I just think they should bring in aliens from all eras in the future now.
It's just like the fact that there wasn't one Twi'lek in the sequels really
crazy.
Just bummed me out. And I don't know why. It shouldn't bum me out. I should want new stuff.
They said it took place in like a different part of the galaxy.
Yes.
So I guess they can go with that. But anyway,
Canto Bight seems like where they would have a dancer at least. That seems like a place where they would have your alien stripper.
Yeah, odd decision. I don't know, but yeah, in the future I want them to bring in some sequel, aliens, prequel, original, bring them all in, make it feel immersive and cohesive.
You always use more Biff.
More Biff.
You could always use more
and
Biff.
more jizz bands.
More butt heads.
Yeah.
But
Biff heads. Yeah. So yeah, I like the series. I think I'm really excited to see what happens going forward. Sure, like I said, we'll see Vader. I'm sure we'll see Palpatine. Whether or not it's I guess it would probably have to be Ian McDiarmid because both Tim Curry had a stroke and then Tom Kane had a stroke. I know we were going to talk about that.
Sam Witwer plays him in Rebels.
That's true. Sam Witwer. Sam Witwer's pretty good, but he's a little.
My name's Palpatine.
Yeah, he's good, but a little over the top for Palpatine. Just get Ian. He's been back for.
What else is he doing
now?
He's a Shakespearean actor. He's probably not doing much.
It's
Macbeth.
Bring him in.
The Scotch
Andor.
play.
Bring him in. He'll be in Obi-Wan. There's no way Palpatine and Vader are not both. Vader's in there, but no way Palpatine's not in Obi-Wan. At least in something like that would just be. I don't see how they couldn't. But yeah, hopefully they'll bring him into the Bad Batch, and I'm sure we'll see Ahsoka. Maybe we'll see Quinlan Vos.
I'd love to see Quinlan Vos. So what's he doing, man? He's alive, apparently. He's out there doing, anti-hero Jedi stuff.
Anti-heroes.
Speaking of anti-heroes, there's your anti-hero right there that you can be annoyed by.
As long as they don't bring back Mace
I'm always
Windu.
looking out for new ones.
I'm really worried they're going to bring back Mace Windu.
We didn't see a body, so...
I would be okay with them bringing back Mace Windu.
Why? He sucks.
What? You don't like Mace Windu?
No, I hate Mace Windu. He's the worst.
He gave a verbal slap to Ahsoka after that. I was like, no, thank you.
After the Clone Wars. Like, I didn't like him before. I thought he was just like...
Wait, what did he do in the Clone Wars? I don't even remember.
He was like, citizens only.
It was like,
something.
This is Jedi business only. And then Ahsoka's like, well, I'm definitely not a Jedi. And he's like, all right, fine.
See, there's your anti-hero. There you go.
He's not I don't like him.
Like a weird Jedi. I don't know. I like Mace Windu.
But Samuel, man, he's all about it.
Yeah,
he's all about it. And that's why I'm worried, because like he's got power.
And what if he's in Kenobi, man? What if he'd
be so upset? But I'd get over it. I'd
be like going into it like if they bring Mace Windu back, and then as soon as he comes on screen, I'm like,
yeah. I get over things in Star Wars. After time goes by, I get used to it. Like Maul, I was kind of annoyed, and then of course, but that's a little different because like he literally had no story in the Phantom Menace.
He was too cool of a character to not bring back in some way.
But Mace had plenty of screen time, and he represented what was wrong with the Jedi, the prequel Jedi. Don't bring him back.
That's kind of what his character is supposed to be. Anyway.
Yeah, if they do bring him back, then his death means a lot less. So that is fair.
Yeah, I just don't want.
Or if they do make him an anti-hero.
Yeah,
I keep talking about that. You said it. Yeah,
I see a lot of fan art of him like scarred and white eyes. I'm like, don't do that.
They're making him basically just his character from Django Unchained.
Just make him Samuel L. Jackson, but he's got his like iconic
Django
beret.
Unchained.
Django, it's weird. It's almost like that was a reference to westerns that George likes.
Yeah. Y'all want to see anybody expect to see any returning faces?
Saw Gerrera. No, but no, Ahsoka I think is the one that I most want to see.
I hope
most likely we're definitely seeing Rex, which is good.
I hope we see Kanan again.
Yeah, I want more Kanan.
I think we're definitely.
I would like more Kanan and Kanan.
There's
more Kanan and Kanan.
More Kanan and Kanan. More Kanan and Kanan.
Well, they have his character model, so it'd be a waste to not.
Yeah,
that's true. He already has a beard. He's 16. He has a beard.
It was like literally a cliffhanger because he jumped off the cliff. So they got to bring him back.
Yeah, he'll be back. I want to see more of the Jedi that are still
I'd like
alive.
I'd like to see the early iterations of Jar Jar and Piet and all that.
That'd be cool.
I'd be like,
Piet.
Yeah. Of course, he's just like
the scared commander in
always
Return of the Jedi.
In Battlefront 2.
I'm sure he has a whole lore on Wikipedia.
Maybe
he's got a whole thing.
Piet, he's one of the. He's basically a sounding board for Vader. Even in Battlefront 2, like one of the first missions, you see him crash the Superstar Destroyer, and the main girl's dad, who's like one of the main guys, like, Piet, you fool, and that's all you get. So it's like that's basically Piet's entire story arc is you fool.
He's just an idiot,
the classic fool.
So yeah, I think we'll see a lot of those. I want to see
Imperial leadership. That would be interesting to me.
Yeah, definitely. That would be cool.
I'd like to see. I don't think we'll see Jar Jar. I think he's I think he was younger too. Like he wasn't that old.
No, he wasn't.
Return of the Jedi, so he probably would have been really young. And
you'll see Piet in the Imperial Corps with Krennic and Galen Erso.
Did Ventress? Whatever happened with her?
Galen Erso.
I don't even remember.
They didn't show her. There's a book called Dark Disciple. That's where they killed her. But anyways.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and it was going to be a Clone Wars arc.
When does that take place?
It takes place about like 2 weeks before Episode 3.
So, but anyway, Matt Lanner says
not really. I think it's maybe
they could have
like
totally retconned that and put her in the show.
Well, Matt Lanner says he's reprising his role as Anakin. So a lot of people, and plus there's a guy in the
Star Killer, Inquisitors. Man, I'd like to see him.
I don't need to see Star Killer, but
Rom Kota.
Don't even get me started. It is just Kanan and Cal Katarn kind of. Like,
it really is.
That's Kanan is Cal Katarn and Rom Kota in one character.
Rom Kota. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
yeah,
I like him.
No, but Matt Lanner said he has more animated roles as Anakin, and then
that's cool.
And then this guy on Twitter who's in the know has heard those couple animated films. So I think they're going to do Dark Disciple and Son of Dathomir.
That'd be very cool.
I think they will.
That'd be very. Son of Dathomir is actually a really good art.
Even if it's not in the Clone Wars style, just animated, just to have something would be cool.
Because Son of Dathomir closes off some of the other characters that you don't see. Their arcs get closed off, and it closes off.
Like I don't even know what happens to Mother Talzin.
Exactly. Son of Dathomir, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I don't actually know, but because I haven't read.
A lot more to Dooku, a lot more to Maul, a lot more to Mother Talzin, a lot more to Palpatine gets thrown in there. And
bring Dooku back. Has a new robot head and hands.
He's just a head.
Yeah. I was going to say it's his original body, but a robot head.
Yeah.
He's a vampire.
He's separated into two.
It's like Futurama. Just the head and the bottom.
He's frozen. He's like Walt Disney.
He's his character from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He's just a dentist now.
Oh yes. I love him in that movie.
As much as I like the fan service and all the connections to existing characters, I think there should be more new characters.
I agree.
I think there will be. Yeah. I think it'll be a good plan. But the whole cast is new characters, really.
Yeah, that's true. And Omega.
And yeah. So and then we have.
That's true. Keep fan service down to a minimum if you can. Like, focus on these new characters that we already discussed that we like.
We like the new characters,
even the ones that are annoying to me.
Yeah, I think
at this point,
the fan service would be only ones that affect the story, like Vader and stuff like that. Ahsoka's going to be in there because it just makes sense.
You're going to bring Grogu in there just for no reason.
Well, there's somebody out there, another podcast I follow, who leaked the Bad Batch Kessel Run transmission. Shout out. They know who is the one that kidnaps Grogu from saves Grogu from the temple. So it might be in Bad Batch,
Grogu's
flashback or something.
Shock T.
Probably won't be in Bad Batch, but it'll be in something moving forward. I think it could be Kanan.
You think? I think now that he's so far away from Coruscant at the time that Order 66 happened, I don't think that'd be possible.
But Grogu. Okay, well, I guess I'm trying to get the timeline right.
Because he was literally on Color.
Yeah, you're right.
During Order 66, and Nightfall happened before all that happened, right?
It'd be really interesting if Anakin couldn't bring himself to kill Grogu.
He's like a fetus, but they're like, yeah, he's 25.
He's Anakin's age, like exactly.
Shock T would be. Yeah, she was at the temple.
Shock T's been killed 50 times.
Right, exactly. So just
she came back every time.
She came back and got killed, and she was the Jedi under the thing. She wasn't though, but a lot of people thought she was the Jedi under the dead Jedi in the Bad Batch.
Oh. No, it's not. So the only one I've seen, it's the nurse that was in charge of Yoda when he was on his spiritual journey, when he was in the pod.
Really? That's what it was?
That's what people are saying, that it's the same color hand and the lightsaber looks similar.
It's probably just nobody.
It's a nobody, I'm sure. I'm sure it was just for, hey, look, this
This
is real.
She's not a Twi'lek. What is her race?
Oh, I don't know.
Who?
A nurse.
Shakti?
Yeah.
No,
Togruta?
No, yeah. Shakti's a Togruta, but
Togruta.
Togruta. Shakti is.
She's a
that's what
Greedo.
Ahsoka
Do you
is.
like taquitos?
she's a Rodian.
Taquitos.
She's a Taquito.
Tostito.
She's a Togruta, yeah, just like
She is
Ahsoka.
a tortilla chip.
She's a Togruta.
So, what do you think the bigger picture is of this series? Like going forward, is it to establish, like,
It's going to be a sequels tie-in, I think.
yeah,
The big picture, like the big
I think
connection
so too.
tie-ins thematically. It's going to obviously to be nowhere near the sequels, but it's going to be.
Yeah, I think so.
It's going to have more connections to that,
Which
especially with.
I did want to talk about the new Vader comic, which is out, which is cool. So we see Vader go to Exegol where Palpatine is, and
this is right after episode 5, right?
yeah, yes, between episode 5 and 6. So basically, he goes to Exegol and he sees everything that Palpatine's doing. He sees the Snoke clones. And then he sees in the jar, we see Luke's hand. Assuming it's Luke's hand. How many severed hands? How many severed?
It might be Anakin's from Dooku.
No.
And I was like,
No,
or it's
bro.
Dooku's hands.
it's Dooku's hand.
Or Mace.
There's another one like it's off screen. But
Or the Wampa. Somebody severed hands.
Yeah, so we see that, and Palpatine's like, I can make anything from this, which is cool. So I think they're going to the old EU route of Luke being Snoke. Luke, W-U-K-E.
Man, that'd be a surprise cameo. George Sabaoth.
People, have opinions about that, of course, but I don't know. I think it's cool. I don't see like what the downside. Snoke's already nobody. Like, why not make him? I think it would be really cool to make Snoke be Luke. Not a clone, but he's a splice. We know that Snoke is a splice of stuff, so he's not a straight up Luke clone. But I think it'd be cool that
he has a specific term that what kind of creature being he is. They have a term for it.
But it's not an actual alien. He's like a amalgam of stuff.
Right.
I think I like the idea of Snoke being like an off-brand Luke, and it makes
the Dr. Thunder.
It makes Ben Solo's relationship that sadder that he's got Luke and the anti-Luke.
No, he's not the Tab. No. Tab's the real deal.
If
anything, he's the citrus drop.
Huh?
I like that too.
I think it's cool. I mean, in Star Wars, like, I don't think you need to get upset about something like that.
There's been way more bizarre stuff.
Yeah, that's not even that surprising. And so obviously we know he's doing some cloning stuff, and I think that'll tie into Bad Batch. Cloning is everything. We see cloning in the sequels, Bad Batch, Mandalorian. There's something there, and they're trying to set up the bigger picture. I think it is some damage control, but I don't care.
They're doing a walk back.
I do not care. I like to make sense of it. I mean, we all have different opinions. We have different leveling tiers of opinion of the sequels here.
Saw sucks.
Ooh. We like fun kids.
I love fun kids.
Grayson does not like sequels, and he loves fun kids.
And I love fun kids. What can I say?
And I hate fun kids, and I like the sequels.
I'm a fun guy.
Can't
have a
mushroom.
mushroom.
He's a big old mushroom. He's on Felucia. It's a big old.
So yeah, I think that's the big picture. Is something to do with cloning. I think Omega's got something. She's definitely a Force sensitive clone. I think. I mean, if not that, then
that's gonna be a
else.
super cool character. I think like that's a lot of potential. I hope they don't screw it up.
I've seen.
Will she have a lightsaber?
A lifesaver. She has a bunch of candies because she's a fun kid.
See, that would be really cool. I think if she was Force sensitive, but she still had like clone armor and fought with blasters. I think that would be super cool.
So it should be
awesome.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I was going to say Obi-Wan.
Yeah, because like
clone armor.
I thought of Bo-Katan when she picked up the blaster. I was like, oh, like you forget how cool like the female Mandalorian troopers are because there's like 2 of them.
That last episode, Mandalorian cannot let you forget how cool the females are.
Oh, they were so man. Bo-Katan's like one of my favorite characters now, just from that show.
Yeah, she was great. I love
and she was great in Clone Wars, but in Mandalorian they
I demand more wrestlers. And
I think we're good on the MMA fighters.
Or like Wrecker.
We need actors.
No,
Wrecker's basically.
Wrecker did his I don't know what you call it. I don't watch wrestling. I'm not a nerd.
No,
he's basically just Macho Man.
All the Mandalorian.
Said, oh yeah.
We were saying all the Mandalorian chicks are fighters, MMA fighters or wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
Gina Carano and the awful actor Sasha Banks. She was who was she?
She was the one who she very convincingly slurped up whatever that noodle.
She was the one who talked trash to Boba Fett, and I was like,
and they fought.
Oh yeah,
and you had Timur Morrison like out of breath, like halfway through that.
And she was the one in the hood too, right?
Yeah,
spying.
Yeah. No,
and then
that's Sabine.
Sabine Wren.
And who's that bounty hunter? It starts with an F.
Fennec Shand?
Fennec Shand's in Bad Batch too.
Yeah, she's coming up. Oh,
really?
Yeah, totally forgot to mention that.
I guess you didn't watch the trailer. Grayson doesn't watch trailers a lot, which I don't blame him. But I guess we just ruined it for you.
Most of it was just talking over a speaker. Like that was most of like the trailer, but you had little things like
I like
Fennec Shand and
in some ways I like that the trailers are so bad for Star Wars now because they don't like show anything other than like the first episode or two. So it's like
that was sufficient to get me excited because it showed Saul and it showed Saul and Fennec and Tarkin. I was like, okay,
I thought it was cool. It was good enough. I mean, I love trailers, and I think Disney or Lucasfilm, whoever's in charge of putting trailers, they don't know what they're doing, or they know what they're doing and they just don't care. Like I don't know. I just think they could market better. And how about the fact that nothing came out on May the 4th other than Bad Batch? So I guess I'm not complaining, but
I had so many like the theories about what was going to happen on May the 4th, like the things that were going to come out.
Well, the thing is, I didn't think
that's never a big announcement day though, to be honest.
Right.
Like
Last year they announced Taika's movie, I think. Okay. But I mean,
all they did was Simpsons Star Wars.
Yeah, The Force Awakens from his nap.
I saw that when I was on Disney Plus. I was like, what is this?
I mean, initially before I like read the internet, I was like, I was like, okay, I finished it.
I read the Google.
I finished it yesterday. But when I I thought that it was going to be, like, what was I talking about?
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
No, not The Simpsons.
Oh, May the 4th. What's coming out?
May the 4th. Yeah, but because I was going to say the Bad Batch was like that's all I expected.
No.
Then I read the internet and it got my hopes up, which I should never do. Something would have been nice. Just a release date. I would love a release.
I read it.
I know. Just give me a release date schedule of the movies. And that's all I would, because I don't know when these things are coming out. I mean, shows and movies.
That
would just give me like some like, okay, it's like I know Kenobi's coming out in May of next year or whatever. So I can be like, it's hard to be a Star Wars fan and know all these things are coming out and then like not really know when.
This year we have a pretty good timeline though. We know Book of Boba Fett's coming out in December, and then
Visions
Mandalorian's right after that.
And Visions will be out in probably September, October.
And that's an anime, right? Like
and I thought they would release a trailer for that, like at least.
That would have been good. I'm looking forward to that. Like it's so different. It's something totally so different that we have not seen.
I'm not like
mainstream. I know there've been like Star Wars anime released at some point in the 40 years. But but for that coming out for Disney and it being like a big deal,
nothing like officially licensed anime stuff. But I don't know what it's going to be. If it's going to be like little vignette stories, or if it's going to be like recreations of other things, or if it's going to be new characters. We don't really know anything. I don't think
nothing. There's no information. But that's cool. It'll keep my attention.
Yeah, it'll fill the void between shows.
I'll have some bated breath, and the whole time, which is fine. That's kind of how Star Wars has been my entire life, like when we're getting more stuff. And for 10 years we didn't get
anything. I know. I really shouldn't complain about getting 3 shows a year, but like it's like at this point I'm like
it's like overload at this point.
Yeah.
I'm like
now it's like my life in the future is going to be Marvel, Star Wars every week.
Yeah, seriously.
Fine.
I'm fine with it. Like it gives me it's smart on them because they know they're getting the money from that. And as long as
it seems to be they're not being totally safe with just like the money route, which is good. I think they're being a little adventurous. They're doing stuff for the fans, like the hardcore fans too, which I think is great. They're not just going the safe route that I think a lot of ways that Marvel kind of goes.
That's true. Yeah, Marvel
the two shows that have come out have been so safe.
Yeah, but I did like them.
Oh yeah, I mean they were good quality, and they're going to be. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm talking like George now. It's good quality, But I really enjoy that Disney's taken. They're kind of jumping off with some of the weirder things.
Yeah,
rather as opposed to like the sequels, which were just big money grabs.
Yeah,
they're doing. I think they learned a lot of lessons.
Yeah, I think so. I think it really is damage control, and again, like everybody has their opinion about the movies, but I think everybody can agree that the planning was not good.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they are realizing what you can do when you have a plan and you flesh things out properly and you give it time
which you give it time. Favreau. I'm kind of conflicted on that as well because like George didn't have a plan in the original trilogy, but at the same time, it's from the same brain. Like it's the same guy.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's not like having a plan is like the miracle answer, but at the same time, the way that they did the baton pass didn't work. It's like the telephone game where
they saw
you say something and then say it to somebody else.
I think what the big thing was they saw that Star is mainstream cool now.
Right.
And they really went for that, and they didn't try to like.
Yeah.
And they went for these actors that are mainstream, cool, young people, very attractive young people, and they went for the story that was kind of polished, and I guess not polished is the wrong word. It's
safe.
Was safe. It definitely wasn't polished.
I really was hoping they would have like in retrospect done all the spinoffs first, and then like taken the time on the sequels, because then they could have.
We always have that. That's your main complaint about Solo is it was released way too. It was just pushed out for no reason.
Yeah, it was like
should have
5
been in
months
December.
after.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
Let's pull up. Let's end on this. I haven't checked Star Wars leaks today, so here we go.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor talks wearing the old costume and performing a special scene with someone very special.
That could be
Satine.
They're all very special to me.
Well, a lot of people think what's her name is an Inquisitor.
Sarah
Moses Ingram, the actress in the thing. I'm pull it up here.
What?
and Kenobi, the actress.
Yes. I got a very special. I got to play a very special scene on May the 4th.
Oh,
with someone very special in my life, and that's all I can tell you about it. But it was
wow.
Who could it be?
So
Scottish.
special that we've seen you on camera with before?
No,
Never. Ooh, interesting.
So.
Is this special person related to you in some way?
No, not necessarily.
Oh,
Is it Dennis Lawson?
What did it feel like to put the old costume back on?
It was good. It feels great. I have to say, I'm having a really, really good time. The costume's probably slightly different, than you might expect. So, but to go back into the role, shall we say?
He's wearing the long.
It's
robe.
great. It's like
It's wearing Clone Wars.
it's all still there. It feels good. There's some great. It's great scripts and great people to work with, and it's great. I'm having a good time. And we got this new technology. We've got this. Before we did this months of blue screen and green screen acting, and now we've got this extraordinary technology where we sort of work inside a big screen, and the backgrounds are on there, and so feels much more realistic. It's good.
And also, as far as the outfits go, it's just hit me is, 10 years later, the show picks up 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, like whatever Obi-Wan was wearing would be really out of style by then, 10 years later, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. A whole new wave now. They've gone back, to the prequels.
Yeah, maybe so, yeah.
He's going to get a copyright strike at it.
One more Star Wars thing. Noel Gallagher of the band Oasis claims that he did your first lightsaber training with you. Is there any truth to that?
They were neighbors.
Well, it was Noel Gallagher's 30th birthday party, and he lived quite close to me in London, North London. And I was at his party, and then there was a lightsaber fight in his garden very early the next day in the morning. And but I don't remember too much instruction. I don't remember any lessons being given from Noel. You know what I mean? It was just more of a battle in the garden.
And who won the battle? Was there a winner?
I'd be surprised if either of us could remember that.
Speaking of birthdays, you had a big birthday.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad we waited.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That was actually posted 7 hours ago. I just sat and had a chance to look at
Hilarious.
Reddit. But, well, do you think he's wearing the long robes? Because he's like, it's a little different.
Is he wearing his
I don't think he'd be wearing Clone Wars armor, but
I was just kidding about that.
I mean,
he's wearing what he was wearing for Big Fish.
He's wearing long johns.
Traveling salesman.
Yeah, the long johns. Yeah, the Alec Guinness version.
It's very hot on Tatooine.
Tatooine.
He's just stripping down. It's very different.
And he said he's
wearing a Speedo.
And he said it was somebody who he hadn't been on screen with. So I wonder who that could be.
I feel like it's not going to be anybody we know.
He said a friend.
And he said not necessarily.
It's not going to be like a niche sort of EU character because
it was his niece.
I feel like he wouldn't say that on the late night show.
It could just be a friend of his.
It could be.
Yeah.
Or his daughter.
Anyways,
y'all stay safe. May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.